A 19-year-old accused of gunning down two people in a car. What was revealed about him in court?
It's the epicenter of nightlife in Raleigh, but one Glenwood South business owner says the city's efforts to keep the noise down are doing more harm than good. Why they feel they're being unfairly treated and bucking back against the city's new noise ordinance.
They can be the most dangerous vehicles on the road. WRAL investigates the specialized unit working to keep your family safe.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
And breaking right now at 6, we are watching live from WRAL Sky 5, a large police presence in a North Raleigh neighborhood. Thank you for joining us. I'm Deborah Morgan.
And I'm Gerald Owens. Sky 5 over Grassy Knoll Lane right now. You see law enforcement right there. Two people on the ground on the sidewalk there. Let's see what this is all about. Let's go to Brian Schrader in the live center. He's following this for us. Brian.
Sky 5 was on the way to another story when we heard about this just within the past half hour, so we diverted the helicopter there. Show you exactly where this is happening in that Massey Preserve neighborhood. Grassy Knoll Lane, just off Forestville Road, not too far from 401. Back to those live pictures from Sky 5. Large police presence with Raleigh police officers there on the scene. And indeed, we have seen what appears to be a person sitting on the sidewalk in front of a house there. A lot of activity right around that area. WRAL's Willie Danley is on his way right now to that scene as we work to get more details here in the WRAL Live Center. I'll share any updates we get during this newscast.
All right, Brian, we'll see you soon. Thank you. Right now at 6, as we take a live look outside across our areas, the sun is going down. You can't tell quite how cold it is, but temperatures are already dropping tonight. Now all eyes are on the weekend forecast when we are tracking some rain chances, and people in parts of our area could see some snowflakes mix in.
On Sunday, the system will bring us another blast of Arctic air, and that is only the beginning. Meteorologist Kat Campbell's in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with the timing of this, Kat.
A lot to watch here. First, tonight is going to be cold, but actually about 10 degrees milder than last night, mid to upper 20s tonight. We warm up by tomorrow afternoon. We're in the low 50s again for highs with plenty of sunshine. The southwest wind helping in to usher in some mild temperatures. Tomorrow night, the clouds arrive, and then some scattered light rain Saturday. Not going to rain all day by any means on Saturday. Should be pretty light rain for us, mainly from the triangle south. And then as this front continues to hang out nearby, we'll keep in a chance for rain even as we look ahead into Sunday. But by the time we get to Saturday night, the bulk of it is likely to clear out to our east and then move back in Sunday. Here's the thing with Sunday's rain. The cold air starts to move in at the tail end of it. So right as the rain starts to end Sunday, late afternoon and evening, we could see a brief change over to some snowflakes in our northern counties, but ground temperature should be above freezing. So it's looking like novelty flakes. I'll have the latest chances of an inch of snow coming up.
All right, Kat, thank you. A 19-year-old accused of murdering two people in Hillsborough appeared in court today for the first time. Kenyon Cameron's arms and legs were shackled as he faced a judge. He's being held without bond, charged with the murders of 16-year-old Zakira Wardlow and 20-year-old DeAnthony Morgan. WRAL's Chelsea Donovan was in the courtroom today and explains what's next in this case.
Kenyon Cameron was in an Orange County courtroom today, less than 2 minutes, where they quickly read him his charges. He had a large family presence in the audience, all who told him that they loved him and to only speak to his attorney. With shackles around his hands and feet, Kenyon Cameron entered an Orange County courtroom, waving to his mother and family who looked on. Close to a dozen deputies surrounded the suspect, including Orange County Sheriff Charles Blackwood.
I want to know why.
Cameron is accused of shooting 16-year-old Zakira Wardlow and 20-year-old DeAnthony Morgan to death inside a car on Cardinal Drive on December 30th.
We still have a lot of questions, but I know as the days go that hopefully we do get answers.
Wardlow was killed steps away from where she lived. And I learned today Cameron lived a block away from Wardlow. But the family says they don't know each other or what their relationship was.
We attended Cedar Ridge together one time, but I don't think they knew each other personally.
The family of DeAnthony Morgan of LaGrange said they are thankful an arrest has been made.
It was just so heartbreaking to have to wait so long.
Cameron was picked up Wednesday night during a traffic stop on Orange Grove Road. He was also charged in 2023 for threats of violence on an Orange County school.
Cameron will be back in court on February the 6th for a probable cause hearing. Chelsea Donovan, WRAL News, Orange County.
Investigators still searching for a motive in this case. Not clear whether the suspect and victims knew each other.
Today, an 18-year-old charged with killing an Uber driver and stealing his car faced a judge for the first time in Johnston County. 18-year-old Travion Brown is charged with murdering 57-year-old Emmanuel Beatty. The court appearance lasted about a minute before Brown was given no bond. Several members of Beatty's family were there for the hearing. Investigators say Brown and Beatty did not know each other. Brown is charged with murder and robbery with a dangerous weapon and is due back in court next month.
A suspicious package caused quite a scene in Wake County today. Several crews, including a bomb squad, responded to a business on Highway 42 in Willow Spring. The deputies say that someone dropped off suspicious items, including a closed box with a red flashing light inside. A robot and a dog helped investigate the scene while the road was closed as a precaution. Deputies gave the all clear 3 hours later. Today, Wake County Public Schools alerted students, staff, and parents about a data breach involving the Power School Student Information System. The breach was discovered nearly 2 weeks ago on January 7th. It allowed unauthorized access from December 19th through the 28th. Power School claims the access data has since been destroyed. Names, addresses, and other personal information was compromised for students, parents, and staff. The district recommends reviewing your financial statements and accounts for anyone who believes they were involved in this suspicious act or become victims of this suspicious activity.
Well, a downtown Raleigh bar owner says he feels like he's being targeted by police enforcing a new noise ordinance. The ordinance is to get businesses in areas like Glenwood South to bring down the noise levels and crack down on repeat offenders. New numbers show of the 123 noise ordinance violations issued in the last year, 43% of them have been on the same block along Glenwood Avenue. That's where we find WRAL Sean Gallagher, who joins us now live. And Sean, what is the issue here?
Deb, there are issues really about where and how police are issuing these citations. They say a quiet neighborhood should be treated a lot differently than here at Glenwood South, an area that's very busy and bustling. But this is still a neighborhood a number of people call home. The buzz on Glenwood South is hardly representative of its northernmost cross street, Peace.
It's anything but peaceful when it comes to the sound.
This man didn't want us to identify him. He doesn't feel he deserves criticism for what he has experienced living near Glenwood South.
It's incredibly loud. Some of it is from bars and other establishments, and way beyond just your standard people having fun kind of sound.
Loud cars and music all through the night. Would you call it unreasonable?
Unreasonable understates it, vastly unreasonable.
So the ordinance says that if the sound is unreasonable from about 150 feet, police can write a citation. That would be about across the street from where the club in question is. But the lawyer representing the owner here says he's less concerned about the distance and more the discretion of police officers deciding what's unreasonable in a very busy area like Glenwood South.
Glenwood South from 11 to 2 on a Friday and Saturday has a very different standard than a residential area of Raleigh.
Attorney Abe Rubert-Schul says the village has been cited several times, and police records show in the last year, 53 of the 123 noise ordinance violations were issued on the club's block.
The reason why we're here, we got a noise complaint for the village.
It's why the owner started recording his interactions with police.
They haven't had a citation before, so they're in the education phase.
A warning for other businesses, but a penalty for him.
By giving a ticket to us, but not giving a ticket to other bars, is evidence of selective prosecution.
So how is this any different from an officer giving somebody a warning instead of a ticket when they're speeding?
And, police do have discretion in certain instances to decide to give citations, to not give citations. But if they are aware that two people situated equally are both doing the exact same conduct, it is unconstitutional to charge one criminally and then not charge the other.
So I have reached out to the Raleigh Police Department about how they issue warnings and citations, but they haven't responded. Now, the attorney says they want to work with police to comply with this new ordinance so that there are no citations and they can fix the problem immediately. They just want to make sure that everybody up and down this corridor is treated fairly. In Glenwood South, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
Today, Governor Josh Stein signed an executive order extending some protections for abortion providers and patients. The governor's order is very similar to one signed by former Governor Roy Cooper after Roe v. Wade was overturned. Stein says the state needs to do what it can to head off any attempts by the federal government to punish abortion doctors or patients or limit access to birth control. You can read more about it in the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com.
A specialized unit is patrolling the roads to keep your family safe from a big threat.
Somebody's family is riding next to this truck.
Coming up, WRAL Investigates goes along with the Highway Patrol inspecting tractor trailers, what they're doing to get unsafe vehicles and drivers off the roads, and how their big ticket fines go right back to our communities.
Ahead for us, with disaster claims mounting, California's insurance of last resort could be staring down a financial crisis. Our investigation. Plus, why the political appetite to ban TikTok in the U.S. is suddenly waning. When we see you back here for Nightly News.
Welcome back to the WRAL Live Center as we continue to follow that breaking news in a North Raleigh neighborhood. Video from Sky 5 shot just a little while ago of a large police presence on Grassy Knoll Lane. We see several Raleigh police cruisers there, a lot of activity in front of one house. WRAL's Willie Danley is on his way to the scene there. We hope to have a live update from him coming up on WRAL News at 7.
All right, thank you, Brian. Tractor trailers are the biggest and potentially most dangerous vehicles on the road.
They can weigh up to 80,000 pounds, more than 16 times your typical truck. A highly specialized unit in North Carolina is making sure they are safe, so your family is too.
WRAL Investigates Sarah Kruger shows us the work they're doing and how the big ticket fines that they issue go right back into our communities.
North Carolina has more state roads than almost any other state in the country. Last year, more than 15 million tractor trailers passed through, according to the Highway Patrol, making this work especially important.
That somebody's family is riding next to this truck.
10 years of focusing on tractor trailer safety.
There's countless, unfortunately, memories and stuff of things going wrong in commercial transportation. Hey, good morning, sir. How you doing?
Trooper Scott Baker has seen it all.
I just want to do a quick walk around and inspection of your truck, if you don't mind, sir. Routinely, we see violations going down the road where the equipment is broken, falling off, dangerous.
He is one of 89 members of the North Carolina Highway Patrol exclusively dedicated to ensuring the safety of the road's biggest vehicles and their drivers.
MIXAP is the Motor Carrier Safety Assistance Program.
It works at weigh stations along the highway doing inspections of the tires, brakes, lights, and more. And also works anywhere on the roads. Unlike other law enforcement officers, MIXAP troopers can pull trucks over at any time, even without probable cause, to do an inspection.
There's no violations on there.
Lieutenant Travis Ingold says last year they did more than 100,000.
You're stopping multiple trucks a day. When you finish one, you're looking for another truck to stop.
Federal data shows North Carolina consistently ranks among the states with the most deadly crashes involving commercial motor vehicles, citing high traffic volumes, variable geography, and increasing urban population hubs.
These are enormous vehicles, and they can easily take a life.
Bridget Brown from Sampson County is grateful for MIXAP's work to prevent crashes. 3 years ago, she was driving with her 8-year-old daughters when their truck was hit by a tractor trailer, causing serious injuries they are still battling.
The vehicle we were driving honestly looked like a crumpled soda can.
MIXAP can file criminal charges, but usually it's civil fines they're issuing. Numbers provided by the Highway Patrol show more than 32,000 violations found in 2024 alone, and nearly $10 million in fines. One single ticket can cost $10,000. Lieutenant Ingold says the money ultimately goes to schools through the Department of Public Instruction. While he believes that's a good use for his troopers, they're motivated by wanting to keep families safe.
I think about my kids, I think about my loved ones, my parents. It is personal, whether it's our family or whether it's their family. We want to keep everybody safe.
As far as one of the biggest safety issues Mixap sees, they told me without a doubt it is cell phones. It is against state law for a truck driver to even have one of these in their hands. The Highway Patrol now is using cameras to catch drivers who are breaking the law. Sarah Kruger, WRAL News.
You know, it sounds simple, but all of us need to just be patient, be safe, and be careful on the roads.
Yeah, we know that. It's putting into practice.
Right.
That's another story, because we see people breaking that all the time. Well, let's talk about the weather. Boy, it is really going to drop out there temperature-wise, Kat.
If you thought this week was cold, just you wait. Next week, we are going to spend at least 70 hours below freezing throughout the week. And I mean, that's all in a row. We're talking about highs next week only reaching the 20s. Look at these updated numbers. 21 Monday morning, 33 the high, 16 Tuesday morning with a high of 29, and Wednesday morning even colder, 14 degrees. We could see some single-digit lows toward Roxborough and our northern counties, and only in the 20s again for highs. So here's the setup. We've got some really, really cold air coming. Over the weekend, we see this big dip in the jet stream, and this is going to open the door for some Arctic air to push into North Carolina again. In fact, this dip in the jet stream could dive so deep that the jet stream pattern may steer any low-pressure systems or moisture far enough to our south and east where we would see maybe little impact here, though the coast may end up having a better chance for precipitation next week. So that's a new trend today that we'll continue to watch. All of this having to do with the jet stream pattern and, of course, the moisture. Everything's got to line up just right for things to get interesting around here. So we're still kind of in watch and wait mode for the precipitation part of next week. But we know it gets cold, so enjoy the 50s this weekend. 54 Saturday, 46 on Sunday. Saturday will come with a chance for scattered light rain. Sunday as well. And as the rain starts to push out late afternoon into the early evening Sunday, that's when the Arctic air starts to move in. So you've got the moisture and then the cold air. When the cold air chases the moisture, that's not a snowy setup for us. We could see some snowflakes mix in, but the ground temperature should be above freezing, so a 0% chance of an inch or more of snow this weekend. But don't be caught off guard if you do see some flakes Sunday evening. There'll be novelty snowflakes, and the mountains should see some measurable snow toward the ski resorts, which is great news ahead of the holiday weekend, and hopefully to help rebuild some of the economy in the mountains. It's nice to see that they'll get some fresh powder at the ski resorts. This weekend stays unsettled, but don't expect to see much rain, less than 1/4 of an inch. Monday is when you're really going to notice the chills start to settle in for MLK Day. The coldest days coming Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And right now, we've only got a 20% chance for precipitation. We'll keep you updated through the next several days.
All right, Kat, thank you.
Well, now let's get over to WRAL's Chris Lee live outside Reynolds Coliseum. Boy, what a big night for famous former women's Wolfpack hooper. Chris?
Absolutely, Deborah. We love celebrating ACC hoops around here, but we also love celebrating those who make it amazing. After the break, she went to NC State. She's also on national television every week talking about women's college basketball. And tonight, Debbie Antonelli goes into the Ring of Honor. We'll preview everything and my one-on-one sit down with her in Next in Sports. Number 21, NC State is back at home tonight to try to get their 5th ACC victory of the season. The Wolfpack will be hosting Pitt, one of the bottom teams in the conference, while the Wolfpack are in a 3-way tie for 3rd place in the standings. They can try to make some separation with the win tonight at 7 o'clock here at Reynolds Coliseum. And welcome into sports, everybody. I'm Chris Lee here at Reynolds Coliseum. That game isn't the only big thing happening here tonight. A famous member of the Wolfpack family will be inducted into the school's Ring of Honor. I had the distinct pleasure of sitting down one-on-one with Debbie Antonelli earlier today as she reflected on what this honor truly means to her and her family.
It just feels crazy that my name's going to be up in the rafters at Reynolds.
Tonight, at halftime of NC State's game versus Pitt, one of their own will be enshrined forever as Debbie Mulligan Antonelli, a Cary High School and Wolfpack alum, will have her name put in the school's Ring of Honor.
I grew up in that gym. I went to games when I was 13 and I learned girls could play basketball in college and they could get a scholarship to do it. I had no idea. I really had no idea.
Antonelli started with the Pack in 1982 and played for 4 years until 1986 under the legendary Kay Yow.
Well, I like to claim I'm the best non-stat starter in NC State history. 3 years of starting with very few stats. So I always saw the game that way.
But she's made her impact in other ways since then, becoming a pioneer in broadcast for women's college basketball and currently the top women's basketball analyst on ESPN, and also raising money for the Special Olympics and those living with cancer, all while representing the Pack and paving the way for more women to follow her footsteps off the court and on television.
It's never anything that you do by yourself. You can't possibly achieve something like this on your own. It's just impossible to do. Go Pack, let's go.
And that Ring of Honor ceremony will happen at halftime tonight between Pitt and NC State. We'll show you everything that happened tonight at 10 and 11. Much more college basketball happening tonight on the women's side as number 16 Duke will be at home tonight. It's Duke, NC State, and Cal in that third-way tie for third in the ACC. And Duke is facing Cal tonight at 8 o'clock. We'll have highlights of that one at 10 and 11. Plus, number 14 North Carolina is on the road to take on SMU as the Heels look to advance to 4-2 in conference. Tip-off of that one is at 8 o'clock tonight in Dallas. Back here at Reynolds Coliseum, we will show you much more of this tonight at 10-11. Plus, it'll be online at WRALSportsFan.com if you miss it on News Tonight.
All right, Chris, thank you. And thank you for joining us. We are minutes away from NBC Nightly News. Tonight, with disaster claims mounting, California's insurance of last resort could be staring down a financial crisis.
And at 7, we continue to follow that breaking news in a North Raleigh neighborhood, what we're learning about shots fired.